Man, talk about a Dana White Contender Series advertisement if I've ever seen one, right? It reminds me of the Alex Perez title fight. I'm actually not upset about it. It's just really nice to see them try and do this for the fighters that are on the come up. Now, if they're trying to build hype for guys, I totally get it. Caio Borralho, in his 2 Dana White Contender Series fights, I really like the defense. That was the most consistent part of both fights. You'd think about the fact that he was able to finish in such a big way in his second fight. But that first one was relatively competitive. But again, defense was on point. Likes to throw a lot of looping, flying types of strikes. Cardio looked pretty good. I love the glasses coming on, especially with the fight or die tattoo there. He's a great character for the UFC, and I think they're really excited to promote him. He kind of looks like Apollo Costa to me. I'm not going to lie, he very much resembles that to me. And I just don't mean look. If you watch the way he fights, the way he stands, it seems so similar. A little bit more athletic, actually. Now, let's flip. I mean, Gadzhi was on another level in that Dana Contender Series fight. Omargadzhiev, if you want me to try to say the last name, it's not that I can't. Omargadzhiev, I'll say it again. I felt really bad for Javi in that one. Javi Silva? I didn't even look up the name. But that was a very, very big mauling of a fight. I mean, you talk about how much he just waited for his moment, was able to pass pretty easily. Then he got into just such opportune positions on the ground, and it was more of a tactical approach. And then he got a hold of the leg, and slowly but surely, woof, you kind of see it bend the other way. All the guys were talking about it on that live commentary there. And I mean, whether it's on the fighter to tap sooner, whether or not he should be, kind of aware of how deep that's going, I don't know. That's not really my call. I think that both of those guys were fairly respectable at the end of it. And, Javi was just making me really sad. I mean, I'm not going to lie. He was pretty upset about the whole thing. And, I mean, I can only imagine how that feels after getting the opportunity of a lifetime, right? And now both these guys get to fight each other. So talk about striker versus grappler. And I'm leaning grappler here, man. I'm thinking about the 4 to 5 inch reach advantage on Caio, but he's accurate, he's powerful. But if Gadzhi gets in close, I think the party's done. I think that if he has to do it once, I think he gets it. These guys that are able to very much manipulate body weight, use their center of gravity, and just feel that flow with that sambo. I mean, he's got a lot of accolades under his belt when it comes to just maneuvering the human body. And I think that that's what's going to come into play here. You think about Borralho and the way he counter-strikes, that classic Brazilian style, right? That karate, Lito Machida version of it all. And the only issue I have with that is the activity. You think about what Gadzhi's probably willing to walk through. I think Caio's not throwing that much. So it's like if you hit him with a big shot, sure, you might be able to rock him and maybe get that puncher's chance of a finish. But unless you're throwing big volume, slowing him down with leg kicks, hitting that body up a bit, I think he's just going to push forward and he's going to keep looking for that takedown. He's going to keep fighting for it. And the big thing about guys like this is once they start to get it, once they figure out that rhythm, then they start to get it. And then they can start transitioning and move on from that step. So unless Borralho's really going to showcase something majorly different in his game, and I'm talking more of that speed on the feet, lateral movement, that's what you really need to avoid the grapplers, right? The forward back is not going to be the best approach here, but you did see some good movement. He's got the karate stance there. And for me, the kicks are where he wants to use, in terms of defense. A great offense is a good defense. I mean, those kicks are everything right now. And that is my path to victory. Keep the fight standing. Set things up with kicks. Use leg kicks. Throw some punches in after that, but you got to slow him down. Gadzhi is hungry, and he's looking the part. For me, it's him being able to get it up against the fence, use some clinch work if he has to, but even if he can get it in the middle of the mat and get it to the ground, I mean, it's going to be a rough battle to get back to your feet, and if it happens just once in every round, I think that's a 3-round decision for Gadzhi anyway. So for me, I have to go with Gadzhi here, and I'm going with a line of minus 170. I think that there's just so much that can be said for these guys that, we just don't know too much about, and even Vegas won't have that much information on unless we start making the movement ourselves by betting on these guys. But, I mean, it's just really difficult for me to see a finish against Gadzhi on the feet, especially from that karate base. And I mean, I can see Caio getting put to the ground a bit and really testing those deep waters with a guy that's this good. Not only that wrestling sambo style, but then also, finding ways to opportune positions on the ground and pounds and submission wins, things like that. I mean, it's going to be a tough battle. But whether it stays standing or goes to the ground, I mean, we know which guy's probably going to have the advantage. So let's take a look at the lines here. I'm actually, before I take a look, let me give you, again, we're going Gadzhi minus 170, I think is what I said. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I like that line. I think that I will be looking at Gadzhi as an official bet here. For me, it really is one of the positions on this card where there's some value on both guys. And right now I'm leaning Gadzhi as a pick, but at least whichever side you choose, there is some value for you. And I mean, again, stay standing. I think Gadzhi's going to be tested. If the chin holds up in the first round, I think it holds up in all 3 rounds. And again, this becomes a grappler / like clinch style fight as the fight goes on and guys start to get a little tired. But I'm excited for it, man. I think that watching both fights again, getting all that under my belt, seeing how good they both really are, the excitement that they were able to kind of create on the Dana White Contender Series, it's nice to see them both get the chance to fight each other as a co-main event before a big fight for some of us diehards. So let's get right into that one, shall we?